Wolf28, and I am the bot of Bardic Logs. And with me, as always, are my people. Say hello, my people.
Hello, my people.
Greetings, servants.
Hello, everybody. And welcome to more Bardic Logs, doing more paranormal therapy. Excuse me while I get our um, music and ambiance kind of going. Uh, Darren, would you mind checking how I sound on the streams? Um,
Sure. One
but
second.
Amazing. While we're all doing that, thank you very much for dropping on by. I hope everyone's doing well. Liv, how are you doing today?
I am doing pretty good today.
That is fantastic. I'm glad to hear it.
That's like the most basic answer to that question ever.
It is. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm glad that you're at least good. Not dying or dead.
I mean, kind of neutral good.
Fair. I'm very tired. Life has been very I don't want to say good or bad. It's just been very exhausting, especially work. I know Darren knows what I'm talking about. Work itself is just a very tiring thing. So I definitely
Yes, me sounds good.
sounds good. No one's too loud. No one's too quiet.
No, it sounds good to me.
All right. So now that we're done, just doing our quick little checks. Let's do a little recap. So last time we were in the woods. But that's not really a good enough recap, actually, now that I'm realizing. So, we're we were investigating in the woods for the creatures that were tapping on Lizzie Kurt's windows, and specifically, it was Michael, Lizzie, Shawnee, aka Liv, and Chris Griffith, aka Darren. Uh, Going into the woods, and while they're in the woods, meeting these prickly stick men. Um, and I mean, just these prickly like twig men. You saw a single twig man. You chased him. As you chased him, you came amongst a group of kind of twiggy, sticky men made of like rocks and roots and all that. And they were very obsessed with Lizzie, and the woods itself seemed to be very spiteful to Chris, smacking him with the branches, uh, being very aggressive to him, but very obsessive to Lizzie, and then kind of just neutral to Shawnee and Michael. Other than that, you guys, Shawnee, I would say specifically, everyone else probably has gotten the idea, but at least Shawnee guaranteed knows about the elvish kind of qualities to that area, that they at least know what Elvish is, and that speaking Elvish seems to have a influence on them. Besides that, you guys ran away. Shawnee was downed on the way back to Lizzie's house, and you guys made sure to get her. Everyone's, I believe, okay. Lizzie is moving in with Shawnee and Chris. Not that Shawnee and Chris are like together in one house. That she's just gonna couch surf in between them for now, because she is terrified of returning back to her home alone with her doggy Jackson. Other than that, magic is, well, I mean, everyone in the group kind of low key believes in magic now. Like you can't really not believe in magic after a little bit of twiggy blightness. Um, Other than that, Shawnee, you had a minor kind of, I guess you could say, telepathic or psychic kind of like future sight, kind of premonition of danger, you might say, brought on by the woods itself. As you guys were running away, it helped try to keep you safe. And then you also saw Lizzie have a very big. Oops, so sorry about that. If you guys happen to hear that, my mom was calling me. Don't know why she was calling me. I will. That, I will call her back later. Apology about that. Um, she Shawnee, you had that kind of woodsy like almost like inspiration, and then Lizzie had a minor moment where she spurted out the word burn, and she burned the woodsman. Besides that, is there anything else that I am missing, my compatriots?
I'm a very fast boy.
You are a very fast boy. Yes, you are. Well, yes, I believe that is it, right? You guys are kind of like currently at Lizzie's, getting the table onto Chris's truck. You guys are all driving back, and I do believe that Shawnee and Lizzie kind of just had a little moment where they're like, oh, and now we're gonna become roommates. Okay, just temporarily, and like everyone's just kind of getting used to like the whole vibe. Chris, you're having a moment where you're pulling in the table to your very very lonely place, but you at least have a table. Um, let me
That's so sad.
right, but that's his
I just have
situation.
this image. Just have this image of Chris, like just sitting alone. Maybe even like. Oh wait, no, you got a chair. You do have a chair. But just like
He's got a
eating
chair
food
and
by
a desk.
himself. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have utensils though?
that's not what we were talking about, Sean.
Okay. Okay.
I've got a baton and mace.
Crude but effective.
Fair. I like to imagine you have Chris just like this. I don't know, like this, because just because you're a detective, and so I might just give this to you just because I like this. Is that like a small chest? It's not like a big chest. It's like a small, old school style, almost medieval style chest, where like you don't know where it came from. You just kind of like woke up next to it, and it has like some minor stuff like clothes, like the clothes you change into daily, stuff like that. Where you're like you don't know where it came from, but it was just there, and that's like one of the only things. Sometimes you sit on that or you use that as a table, you know, before you got this table.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's what I was using before I got the table from the chief of police that I got him to throw out of his window.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we threw his chair out the window. Shawnee brought you the table, right? And then now you have a
Yeah,
full set.
something like
Oh
that.
yeah.
But the point is, he threw both of them out.
Yes. Yes, he did throw out both of them. Um, so I didn't know why I did such a hard after that. Yeah. If I am doing too much you two catch me on it and just say, well, for you're going a lot. It's a habit I cut out a long time ago when I was a theater brat, and I don't know why it came back suddenly.
Okay, but do you want to hear something really cute about
Sure.
My son, when he doesn't know what things are, he points at them and says, "This is mum." And we gave him a present for
Aww.
the holidays that was a dog. And we were like, "What do you want to name the dog?" And he pointed at it and said, "This is mum." So the dog's name is Amma.
That's so cute. I love that.
Uh huh.
Kids are so creative. Oh gosh. So after you guys moved or kind of got everything moved in, a week sort of passes by until the next therapy session. It's not like an instant drop like pass. It's like a montage. You're gonna choose two NPCs, whether from the group or a professional or personal connection that you just happen to want to improve. It could be Lizzie. It could be Michael. It could be Pinewood from the group, the Tabaxi. It could be Helen. It could be like the tattoo, the girl lady that you're talking tattoos with, Shawnee. It could be absolutely anybody. You guys could reach out to personally. You could be going on a dinner date with Daddy, a breakfast date with anybody. But
I
anything,
don't know anyone. I have amnesia.
well, right? So maybe, well, you know the people from the group. So, or if you have people from your station, like if maybe you have a
I was just
coworker.
thinking to invite the chief to a dinner date.
Just imagine though, that'd be kind of funny. But like you don't have to come up with two. It's not like a necessity for two. But you can have up to two people that you choose. And if you happen to have any coworkers you want to make up, Darren, like feel free. But if not, that's also cool. But just up to two people that you can choose this week, and you're gonna try to come up with a way of like either reaching out, stuff like that. You're also gonna choose one way you're gonna cope with the harsh reality you saw. Chris, you got fucked up bad. Like you're looking in the mirror after you shower the next day, and you're covered in like cuts and wounds, like deep wounds that are still needing to be rebandaged and hurt like a bitch. And it's a little traumatic to see yourself like that. And Shawnee, I mean, you were knocked out fucking cold. Like, you felt like you almost saw death for a moment. Like, you knew that you were safe and that you were brought to safety and all, but like in the back of your head, you're really struggling to kind of drop that feeling that you really did almost die. And so then as along with the up to 2 people, I just need one way you kind of cope with the reality of the situation for the week. Does anyone want
Okay.
to go first?
Not it.
I think I've got stuff picked out, so that's okay. So I think I'm gonna get to know my new bestie and roomie, Lizzie. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm gonna kind of make it my own therapy to kind of play therapist to her and take her. Well, this isn't what therapists actually do. I hope not. But take her around and like try to get her to forget how terrible things were. Maybe we'll do some retail therapy, and I'll call my dad and be like, "Hey, Dad, can you help me?" Kind of some of that stuff. I think in addition to that, I'll want to get to know Helen better, and also on the subject of kind of taking care of my own psychic wounds, maybe I'll schedule some individual therapy with Helen if she is open to that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and otherwise, I know I said I think last time that I go to the university's medical center to try to get my wounds checked out. I don't know if anything comes of that. And
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, um, Shani's going to pour herself into her research and kind of try to distract otherwise, like brush up on more Sylvan and Elven and try to find some connection to the just to understand like what was that? Are there any texts that have any revealing information?
Right. Right. So you let's start with the let's start with just Lizzie, right? I don't
Okay.
have exactly like a thing for just y'all's apartments because I don't know what kind of apartment y'all live in. So for now, I'm just gonna use Lizzie's as kind of like the background. I'm just gonna remove Michael from the area here. uh, but for now, I will do, and then later on, I'll come up with some kind of cool apartment backdrop, or if you guys have an apartment or anything like backdrop you guys want for your own, as kind of representing your own character style, feel free to send it. But for now, I'll just put this here as Lizzie's apartment as kind of the backdrop. But you and Lizzie hang out, and it's. I mean, first off, just having Jackson, her dog, nearby is a wonderful time. He's such a good boy. He doesn't make messes. He's a very well trained dog. I will say, he's a little. Um, I don't know if there's such a thing as like too trained, but it's just like he seems like way more well behaved than like a normal dog, if that makes sense.
I think so.
Yeah, it's like he's like perfect, which is like a little weird to you maybe, because like you're used to dogs barking, you're used to stuff like that. He's just like a little too perfect, but he's a really good dog. He loves pets. He's still like a normal dog, other than the weirdly too well behaved. Other than this, you guys also go retail therapy. Uh, but so you call your dad, and this is how it's gonna work. I'm gonna have like you're like Lizzie. I see you're upset. Give me 1 second, and you're like we'll have a talk. But first, Dad. You call your dad, and he's like, yeah, Shawnee. Already another call so soon. What is it up, my little Shawnee? Oh, it's always good to hear from you. Yes. How can I? How can I? Hello.
Well, yeah, Dad. Well, one of the conditions on this phone was you wanted to hear from me more often. So here I am. I'm just being a good daughter and calling you.
Yes, you always were a good listener, unlike some of your mothers. Oh,
Ha
oh,
ha ha
what
ha.
have you been up to, my sweetheart? What have you been up to? What do you need
Oh,
from Papa?
just I've just been doing some studies, of the local woods in the area, some really profound environmental, I mean some kind of economic development and stuff. And
Economics. You know,
so
I happen to know
that's
of the Woods Company up there. They do wonderful economic work if you would like to check them out.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Can you text me the information?
Absolutely, I would
And
love to.
yeah. I'm gonna need some startup funds to really, get my name out there and start my own stuff. So what? Yeah. But I'm looking at the stock market, and I just don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, so I too am not sure about the stock markets. And he starts just going off about his whole thing, and it's really that moment of like you're listening to your dad talk, so he'll give you money by the end of the conversation, and by the end
Uh
of the
huh.
ranting, he's like, and that's basically at this point he's texted you. It's without like while he was talking, he texted you. You don't even realize the moment he took his phone away from his face. He's like, "What the?" You're like, "What the fuck?" Uh, he's also not just says he rambled to you about his like business dealings and like stocks and stuff like that. He also rambled texted you. Besides just sending the Woods, he told you about the business partner from like the Woods company, who is like kind of a prick. He knows him from college. He always acted better than him, but he's still a good enough guy. Owes him a favor. If you happen to want to go talk to him, it's me. What was it? What was it? Hold on. Oh, it's Michael's forest company. It's which one did I say he worked for? It's where are you, Michael? There he is. Deep Woods. What was it? Deep Woods Mining. That's right, because he's a dwarf and they're supposed to be mining, but it's forestry. The Deep Woods Mining. Um, it's he's texting you about that whole thing and how the head of it is a dwarf and what is Deep Woods Mining anyways? It's a dumb company name, but anyways. And by the end, he's like, well, anyway, Shotty, do you need anything from Papa before I talk to you not till next week?
Oh, I shouldn't ask really.
Oh yes, I know you need some startups. Let me see. He sends
Well,
you about $250 straight up. So like, basically enough that you don't have to think about if you guys do a little retail therapy. You guys just each get like one or two items without thinking about it, right?
okay, okay.
And he's like, "Is there anything else you
Thanks
need
so
from
much,
me?"
Dad. No, no. I think that's good. It was so good talking to you.
Yes, yes, thank you. Yes, it's so good to talk to you as well, my daughter. All right, Shotty, well, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. And he just hangs up without waiting to hear
Oh,
you say bye-bye.
bye bye. Clink.
Lizzie's kind of like, whoa, I... Your dad's kind of a dick, isn't he? He didn't really listen to you at all.
Yeah, but it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah, but that stuff is usually propagated by the parent. I mean, I'm not a psychologist, but at least personally with my own thing, she kind of talks a little bit about her dad. Like, I at least feel like parents tend to start it, but with my father. But that's my own thing. Sorry, apologies. Uh, anyways, how are you
Wow, that's
feeling?
that's deep.
How are you feeling about
Oh,
the whole thing? You know,
oh
you
the
know,
thing.
yeah. I mean, she starts like twitching her leg before we go out shopping and all that. The, what? How are you feeling?
Well, it was very interesting on an intellectual level. Um, so I think I'm gonna study that some more. So how about we go shopping? We can worry about that later.
She's like, you know what? Yeah, let's go shopping. Yeah, we'll think about this later. Um, while you guys are shopping, roll me a d20 and tell me odds or evens before you roll it.
All right, I'm going odds.
Okay.
Hey, it's odds.
Everything goes perfectly fine, and in fact, you find a sale. and you're able to
Oh,
get
hey.
yourself all basically a whole new outfit each. However, you guys want to kind of look for your trying to forget trauma look, and with that, you guys can Shawnee, you also just get like a little extra that you just kind of have with you. I would say to whatever kind of day you're planning on having, you feel free to add plus to for just like this week, +1 to your kind of wealth rolls. Just +1 as you have like a little extra, you know, just for this week. So anything
Nice.
else you happen to want to get, and you do like a wealth check or anything like that,
Okay.
you'll be able to do that. But yeah, this was just like doing a bit of a luck check, because I was gonna say if it wasn't, you didn't call it right to give kind of a peek. I was gonna have it. We're gonna have to do an actual wealth roll because things were more expensive than you thought they were. But you found a sale, so hey. Um. Besides that, you and Lizzie bond. While you guys are bonding and kind of having chats, you get a text from Helen asking for a lady to come over and have maybe a late night coffee. Like, by she knows the place by by let me see, more the therapy place by downtown Homestead. Almost called it my actual place. In real life, I'm basing it off of downtown Homestead. And she just offered for you to buy you a cup of coffee, and you guys have a chat by the tattoo parlor and just hang out. You guys, I assume you say yes.
Yes, that sounds perfect.
Amazing. As you head, you guys kind of wrap up your thing with Lizzie's. She says she'll meet you back at the apartment. She offers to take anything like the bags and stuff for you. Listen, you're gonna go on a little coffee date with Helen. I'll just take the bags back for you, and I'll go check on Jackson and all that. And maybe
You gonna be okay?
if you guys are still hanging out, I'll come over and have like dinner with you guys. But you enjoy your coffee. Don't worry about me. For now, I'll be okay. Your apartment's not too near the woods, thankfully. And then you go to think about your
Okay.
student dorm. It's like right next to the it's like a building between you and the woods. And like you can tell, she's trying her best to remain optimistic.
And never mind that my roommate disappeared, you know.
Exactly,
But
from the woods probably as well. It's a long
probably.
thing. Yeah, it's like you can tell she's trying her fucking best to remain optimistic. But
Well, I'll see you later.
as you say that, she goes, "See you later, alligator." And from as she turns around, she doesn't notice this. But you do. From her mouth, the word alligator comes out, and it's shaped like an alligator. And it croc, croc, croc comes around for a second, and then fades away into the air, kind of like the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland's smoke.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
She turns around. What? You okay?
Can you say alligator again?
Alligator? Nothing happens.
Oh, weird. So weird. Must be some strange synesthesia I got.
She looks at you. What's that? Like you gotta remember,
It's
I
when
don't.
you it's when you see and hear or feel or some other kind of senses all at the same time.
Oh. Oh. Are
Yeah.
you okay? Like, do you need me to
Yeah,
check on you?
I
Or?
should. No, I'm good. It's just when you said alligator, I thought I saw an alligator. I better go see about Helen.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let me know if you. Yeah. Let me know if you need any help or anything. Bye
Yeah,
bye.
just Lizzie, before I go, just
Yeah.
don't say, don't say fire, don't say monster, don't say nothing like that. Don't say spider either.
She looks at you. Like she looked like she's about to, like maybe even drop him without thinking about it. She's like, what? And then she's like, well, why
Nope,
not? And yeah, exactly. Like, nope. Shut up. Shush.
nope,
Nope.
nope. Just don't. Nope, nope.
Just nope. Just no. As Lizzie heads back to the campus, you go to the coffee shop As she says, "All right, bye. I'll be good, I guess. I won't say much." She looks a little like taken back by that, but she does leave, and you walk down to the coffee shop. Oh wait, this is the fucking tattoo parlor. Hold up. This is not what I thought it was. This is the tattoo parlor. Give me 1 second. This is, yeah. Where is my fucking mouse? Dude, there it is. Hold up. Where is my coffee shop? I had a coffee shop set up that was supposed to be all hipstery and cute, and this is not it. Okay, I will just have to grab I will just put a whole. I will just add it there. It is not, from what I can tell, there, so I'll just add it to this one here. I'm always prepared. I'm a wonderful DM. No one can see anything happening.
Oh, I can see it.
There we go. Okay, here we go. You guys, poof. You meet Helen at the coffee shop. You're walking up. It's just a plain old little coffee shop. Nothing like the Blink 182 that you work, kind of low key work at. It's just a little, you know, cafe in the side of a building that you were walking by the port. You do smell the nice salty sea breeze coming by. A little cold chill comes up from the water as you hear dock workers from Hubderson getting to the late night shift. You see boats coming on by a little bit from the water. People are hustling and bustling in the town, and as you enter the the cool breen the breens the cool no I was gonna say cool beans, but no, now it's cool breens. Don't know what that means, but it's cool breens now. Cool Breens Coffee Shop, and a very classic kind of P&W type name.
It's like something out of Star Trek.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, yeah. This is something that oh god, what's his fucking name? Oh god, the pointy ear dude that everyone knows.
Spock.
Spock,
Legolas?
thank you. Yes, in Legolas, but Spock, thank you. Oh my fuck, I don't know how I forgot Spock's name. But yeah, yeah, it's like something that Spock would go drink at. But yes, as you enter, you see the tatted, um, ever so slightly green, but like a pale green, with long, I believe I said deep brown hair. I'll double check. I believe it's deep brown hair. Um, Very tall lady, Helen, just sitting there. And not having not ordered her coffee yet, she looks to be just enjoying a very pleasant croissant, just maybe passing the time. As she looks up, seeing you walk in, she waves. Oh, hello there, Shawnee. How are you?
Oh hi. Oh hi. And I go
Hi.
over and I sit down.
Um, would you like to go and order a coffee in a second? But actually, first, how are you're doing good? How have things been? I know it's been a few days since we did therapy. How are you holding up with everything we talked about there? I know we didn't really get to much then.
Hey, how about we order coffee first and then we'll talk, hey?
Okay, you guys order your coffee. She gets a very plain, barely not black. Like it's like a little cream, a little sugar. Then you go, what do you get?
I get something that I'm not even gonna try to pronounce. And I order my whipped cream on the side.
Fair enough. You guys sit down. You guys have your coffee. You guys chat it up. Anything specifically you would like to chat with Helen about?
Helen, I am going nuts. Absolutely nuts. And I take a big spoonful of whipped cream.
Nuts. How?
Well, let's see. Went into the woods with some folks.
Already, her
Got
head
killed
tilts
by a
a little
tree.
bit, and when you said you went to the woods with folks, she immediately kind of gives you like a, oh god, kind of look. Like, that's never a good start.
And then, when people talk, it's like I see things happen after they talk. Like someone just said alligator, and I saw an alligator. Someone said fire before, and there was a fire. Um, Pretty badly beaten up. My roommates disappeared. I don't know what's going on. My dad's sending me extra money. I think he must be sleeping with someone else because he's never been this nice.
She she just takes a moment to kind of like take a deep breath and is kind of like, whoa. um, she, yeah, she just kind of takes someone's like, whoa, okay,
You see what I mean?
yeah. You see words like, did someone light on fire when you saw the word burn, or
Yeah, yeah,
did an
yeah.
alligator eat
That's what.
somebody? Like
I
actually?
hope not. I don't. Not that I saw. I hope not.
Okay. She kind of just like takes someone's like, you see her eyebrows kind of like raise a little bit. She's thinking.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
and
Anyway,
it's
so
even worse.
that's. Oh yeah, please go ahead.
The worst thing of all, I'm hanging out with some cop. Can you imagine?
Cuts to Chris eating sad gas station sushi in his fucking apartment.
It's not gas station sushi. It's gas station burgers.
You're right. Gas station burger and maybe a burrito that you're gonna warm up for tomorrow's breakfast.
Yeah.
And then back to you guys and your fancy coffee. She's like, oh god, a cop?
Yeah, you know the one from group?
Oh, Chris? Like, what you guys, I mean,
Yeah,
if he's there to help, is that bad? Is he like an asshole, or?
he's kind of an asshole. I
Ah,
mean, I mean, he's not all bad, I guess. I mean, he probably saved my life, or maybe that was Michael. I don't remember. It's all kind of hazy.
say, gosh. What happened? Like, so you say you got attacked? Like, you almost died? How'd that happen? What
I
happened?
don't know. I don't know. The trees, they just got me, you
The
know?
tree?
They,
Her head's, if she could be an
well,
owl, would be tilted like 180 degrees right now. Like, she's got a head tilt that she can't control.
I mean, maybe it's some kind of mycosis or something like that.
She just kind of nods her head. You don't know if she understood that either yet more or less, but she just nods her head in agreement.
I, I think I'm having a nervous breakdown since my roommate went away.
Okay. Hey, well, what did your roommate mean to you? Were you guys like together, best friends? Like,
Oh, oh, we were, yeah, best friends. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. She's kind of guarded about it.
I see. Why don't you do this? She slides you the tattoo uh shop's business card that she likes so much she was telling you about. I went and got this. That's the actual business card. I don't know if I gave you one already. But why don't you do this? To help you cope with all this, design yourself a tattoo. Something that would empower you from what's going on. Something that's going to make you feel stronger, better, just anything. And then come let me know. We'll go to the shop. All right? And let me know when you feel ready, if that makes sense, to get stronger or more powerful, or to understand, as a tattoo can help you understand.
When you're ready to level up.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, tattoo. My dad's gonna be so thrilled, and he's probably gonna pay for it too.
She just burst out laughing, like fucking like just like an absolute cackle. Everyone in the shop kind of looks at her, but like she don't give no shit. Helen absolutely found that fucking hilarious. Um,
Well, do you think I'm going crazy?
no, I think you're seeing things for how they actually are, and that can be pretty hard.
Wow, that's deep. That's scary. Deep.
She's the cult leader killer.
Yeah, she's the fucking cult leader this whole time. I'm trying to get you guys in with like a fucking therapy group. In reality, it's a fucking cult. I actually didn't think about doing that.
I know how the way you think.
Funny thing, I wasn't thinking that, but that's a wonderful idea. Put that for like another day.
And maybe I should get a weapon or something.
A weapon? Like what kind of? Well, I think. Well, like,
Stop bragging with your fucking ID.
like what are you gonna do? Go get a gun, Shawnee? No offense, but you don't seem like the kind of person to use a gun.
Yeah, I don't think I'd use that, but I don't know what to do.
Well, I
What
mean,
do
you
you
have a
do when a
knife.
tree tries to kill you?
Go get a machete or
Yeah, I
like
use it.
a hatchet, and then, well, I mean, if a tree were to try to kill me personally, it sounds kind of magical. Like, I don't know if you believe in magic in the world, but maybe there is. And maybe there's something more magical about in the world than you think. Maybe you gotta look into the magic.
Where do I look for that? That's not going to try to kill me, that is.
What do you feel most magical?
Probably the library.
Let's start there.
Okay, okay. I'll go to the library.
You guys have finished your coffees. She pats you on the hand. I do gotta get going though. Go to the library. Take some time for yourself this week, and just try to learn about yourself a little bit. You might find more there that you may have not noticed before. She gives you a really subtle wink that might even just look like a bit of a blink. Have a
Huh.
good rest of your week, Shawnee. I'll see you at therapy.
See you at therapy. And so Shawnee leaves, and she's wondering, like, what does that wink mean?
As you spend probably a good 20 minutes just thinking about that, um, you will cut over to Chris for a bit. Sorry, Chris, I've left you kind of out for a minute. Chris, is there anybody you would like to talk to this week?
Yes, actually, I'm gonna get Michael.
You get Michael on the phone. You call him, and he's like, "Yes, Michael." You hear that he's on the job currently. When you call him, maybe like the next day, you hear grinding in the background. He's like, "Love, you know not to call me while we're in the middle of taking down a big oak." Oh, wait, this is my wife. Who is this?
Hey, it's Chris. He gave me your number. He said after what happened in the woods, we might hang out a bit, get a beer. I've been contemplating taking up martial arts classes after what happened. Got he looks down. I'm still pretty bandaged up. Got my ass kicked a bit.
Ah, wonderful, Chris. Why don't you do this? Uh, I have MMA, some mixed martial arts classes and boxing classes I attend. You can join me for them if you want. This week to help kind of work out that stress. I know I've been just aching to go. If you want, actually, I'm gonna go tonight just to do some general boxing workout. Maybe you can get yourself into the rhythm, meet my coach. You know?
Okay, that sounds like a great idea, honestly. Uh, what's the address? I'll meet you there tonight.
He sends you two-handed boxing. It's it's just a place in kind of mid Homestead, not downtown. It's like more just kind of like just amongst a little beyond the it's kind of suburban area. It looks like it's maybe run out of like what used to kind of be a house that was highly renovated, and it's run by as you pull up, you see it's run by an elf who's just like unlocking the door right now. And then as you pull up, Michael comes screeching up, excited as all hell, sees you, knocks on your window immediately, just like leans over. Hi, Chris.
Michael, how are you, man?
I'm all right. A little stressed from work. Got the wife, you know how it be. You ready to go and kick some ass?
Yes, I'm ready to be on the opposite end of an ass kicking.
Hi. You guys spend the evening doing some mixed martial arts, getting yourself kind of warmed up. They teach you kind of well, first off, they refresh you on the basics of combat, right? Like a punching, how to keep your feet, little things that, like, well, a cop would probably know from training, um, like basics, like keep your feet apart to help keep your, your balance and your wits about you, stuff like that. Your maneuverability, they kind of enhance upon it. You maybe didn't really work on footwork as a cop. Well, they teach you footwork, maneuvering around people, ducking. Your first day is not even really throwing a punch as much as learning how to duck and weave and kind of protect yourself. Defensive work before you even start offensive.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Well, I don't look like this again.
exactly, exactly. So you start to duck and weave, and we'll consider that kind of a hobby you build up and maybe start to kind of get
Oh
into.
yeah, he's planning on pursuing that as not just as a hobby. He's planning on doing that as his relaxation from work.
That means you and Michael will probably be spending a lot of time working out together. If I'm being honest, y'all are probably gonna bond hella over
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, he's gonna be that. That's what he's gonna. He's been instead of throwing himself just into his work, he's gonna get into mixed martial arts, and he is gonna be spending a lot of time at the range as soon as he can get the chief to sign off that he can go on the fucking range.
Speaking of, next day you come in, you pretty easily, especially after warming up with Michael, you already feel kind of limber, warmed up. You go into your knife handling section, and you don't even need a second meetup. The person you go in with, a human named David. He just David King. He just shakes your hand, teaches you the basics, sees that you're very clearly very knowledgeable with it, like not just knives but melee in general, um, of like just like general like he doesn't have to teach you safety. He doesn't have to teach you any of that. He knows that if he hands you a license, he knows what you're doing. And on top of that, already being kind of warmed up, you can impress him. Pulling off some maneuvers, ducking in between his arms, grabbing the knife in a way that and disarming him in ways he didn't really fully think of. Just like little ways that maybe you're um,
Things
just
that might have been instinct instead of knowledge that might have
exactly,
been built up in his experience as a detective and a specialist.
exactly. You took the words straight from my mouth. Instinctive. You don't think about it. Sometimes you just kicked his leg out and grabbed the knife and had it to his throat, and then you had to almost pull yourself from like fake slitting it. Like you're kind of like, okay, well, a little much, a little much. It was just a little. You had your whole thing going. You now have you've been uh, called into the chief's office afterwards. David shakes your hand like, "Good job." I'm also gonna probably be your firearms person, and I'm gonna be honest. If you do as well for that as you do for this, I think you'll do just fine.
Chris gives a little laugh and, no, I'm not as good at firearms. I'm better.
I'm excited to hear it. He gives a big old cheeky grin. You can tell that David just enjoys fighting. It's not necessarily like just for the kill, or it's like if you tell he's the kind
It's
of
for
guy who
the
enjoys wrestling.
competitiveness. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Sports. He enjoys wrestling. He watches boxing. He enjoys that kind of stuff. So you guys chat about boxing a little bit. You maybe even bring up your boxing thing you're starting to go to. He says he goes to one over near Oliver, called Flurry of Blows, and he just just different little things like that you guys chit chat about until you get called into your chief's office. Where he's like, well, I hear you you know you know how to handle a knife very well. And he kind of just sighs. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I apologize for maybe doubting you or underestimating you, but look, your gun license is will come in time. I know you're antsy, but here. He comes, hands you a personalized. It says detective for. It has like a little written on it, a little slip put in for Detective Griffith. Uh, Underneath, like little comma, Christopher, blah blah, that whole thing, like Detective, Griffith Christopher, blah blah blah. It has a nice solid like 6, 7, maybe 8-inch blade. A decent one that can hurt somebody, but survival mostly, right? You have your baton, you
Yeah.
have your blade, you have your mace, you have your handcuffs. He's like, other than that, do you need any other basic equipment as a cop? Besides a gun. I
Um,
think it's a license for that. But anything else, like, do you need...
I'll be straight with you, Chief. I've been trying to get my memory back for a while now. It's not really working. I'm just gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna register as an amnesiac, and I'm gonna create a new identity. That's what I can do at the moment. So that might end up making getting a gun easier. But what I
Yeah.
really do need, and I don't really need you asking questions on what I need a set of lockpicks.
He gives you such a look. Give me... For him to not ask any questions, you can either choose, fuck, I always forget, whatever the persuasion equivalent in D20 Modern is, or bluff. Either one of those to try to get him just to not ask any questions.
I'm just looking at for my own. What the fuck would it be if it's not bluff?
Fuck, is that persuasion?
Let me see. Diplomacy.
Diplomacy. There we go. Thank you. I always fucking forget.
Oh, don't worry. You can forget, but I've got a +0 to charisma and diplomacy.
Oh lord. So you're gonna go diplomacy or bluff?
Both of them is +0. I don't have any ranks.
Damn. All right. So I guess just
Uh,
give me a roll then. Let's see
16.
how you do.
Straight 16.
16. Know what? I'll roll as well. Let's see. Yeah. You know what? He's like, you know what? Technically, I'm just saying. You didn't even have to say the whole question. I'm not gonna say the question part made it more suspicious. You could have just asked for lockpick. Cops can have lockpicks, you know, for on work stuff. You'll have to note it. It is noted you have lockpicks, you know, like in the registry, etc. So like, it's fine. You can like we're aware you have
Yes,
lockpicks. It's good. Just
I'm aware of that, Chief, but again, I didn't have an ID, so I wasn't issued.
right. Okay, then I'll just
I
put it
struggled
under
to
our
get
new.
evidence.
I'll put you know what, I'll put your ID for currently amnesiac or the amnesiac, and then Chris Griffith, and then I'll just mark it. We'll when you get your ID and I'll update him. Just I'll get it to you. Don't worry. Don't worry. Um,
Yeah,
by
that's fine.
by the end of the day, you get yourself a set of lockpicks.
Yeah, then during the rest of the week, I'll be spending a lot of time with Mike, and also obviously going to City Hall to register and get my new ID sorted.
You
I mean,
Mike
I've
helps
got
you.
I've got proof of employment, and I've got proof of address in my current name from the chief of police. So
You
I've
do.
got something.
You do. And Mike is also there. He's gonna help kind of represent you, kind of like back you up. This is Chris Griffith. That is his name. That's what I know him as. um, Michael and you kind of get like get to know each other. Michael talks a bit about like while you guys are at the court, the town center, like getting this done and waiting. Um, you guys take a number. You guys sit down. You guys see a old lady and a young lady at the front office like desk. One of them's chewing bubble gum. Looks like they're taking their time. So you guys are gonna be there for a bit. You guys get to know each other a wee bit. You'll learn that like Michael has you know about his wife. You learn that he wants a kid. He asks if you got any you got a wife or want a kid or anything like that.
I'm not sure.
Oh
Uh,
right, sorry, bad
I've got
question.
I've got this, and he points to the tattoo that says Nikki on his arm, and that's about it. I'm not sure. Is it a wife, a daughter, friend, an ex, my mother? I don't know.
Right, sorry. I keep forgetting. I apologize if I ask stuff like that. In fact, let me go put into forced background. I know the forced background I just realized is supposed to be for like just general PNW vibes. So I'm gonna change it from that to more of actually I don't know what the fuck I would put for PNW vibes. So fuck it, or seeking force vibes. Um he's like, you know, I'm just I apologize. I'm just used to like people who aren't amnesiacs. So I apologize if I ask
That's fair. That's
inappropriate
fair. Don't
questions.
worry about it.
But anyways, how are you feeling? By the way, since we are back in, we're back in town. We're back in the downtown. We're near the therapy place. Might as well do a little therapy. How are you feeling since being stabbed multiple times?
Angry. Very, very angry. That's why I decided to join you in mixed martial arts, my friend. Uh, I mean, I ended up saving Shawnee. That was good. But I nearly died doing it. Next time, if I do something like that, which is supposed to be my job, I'm hoping to not die of it.
Yeah, I get that. Have you felt? He looks like he heard that. He took what you said, but it looks like he's been like maybe ready to ask this question kind of thing, where he's like, "Have you been like processing what you saw? All right, like I mean that well they're twig men and roots, and they were moving. I ain't never seen nothing like
I, I
it.
I think my amnesia helps me in this department. There's a lot of things I don't know, so I just sort of see it as, oh, it's something I didn't know about. It's why I'm throwing myself, even with this injured body, into training. This is things that I didn't know existed, but now it does. It's not strange or supernatural to me. It's just another facet of life.
Yeah, I get that, but like oh, I mean, for me, it is supernatural. It's scary. Like things like that. You tell me now we have ghosts. We have fucking ethereal ghosts. Am I gonna? What if what Pinewood said is true? That little fucking tiny people stole his wife, huh? Am I gonna have to worry about my wife being stolen by tiny little gnomes?
I mean, I guess you can just kick them if you see them. That
Ha!
if it's tiny
Hunt the
little
little
gnomes,
fuckers.
yeah. I mean, we're in the good old US of A, man. Well, US of B. So just kick it like it's FNL style.
He nods his head with a very big smile. He's kind of not laughing, but just kind of like you see, you kind of reassured him a little bit. I all right. That does help me a little bit. Thank you, Chris. But I think we're we're gonna hang out more. I need someone who's seen this to just hey just I need I don't want my wife to see it. I don't want her to get like worried. But I need a friend who understands, and I appreciate having you.
I appreciate you as well, man. I think me and you are gonna be good friends. Shawnee was a bit of a bitch, but and again, I understand where you guys are coming from. For you, this is supernatural. This is out of the ordinary. For me, this is just another day of learning something that I didn't know about exists.
Yeah, yeah. And did you also notice that? Sorry, just before we gotta edit. Like as he was about to say this, you hear your number get called up. 42. Oh shit! Go ahead and get your license in. I'll talk to you about that later. Um, and as you
Yeah,
go to get
sure, man.
your ID and EGEC registered, we go back over to Shawnee. Shawnee, you are at the library
Yeah.
studying. You are studying into stuff. Go ahead and give me a history check or some kind of like general knowledge check to see what you can look up.
I
And
think that's gonna be a plus.
while you're rolling that, Chris, you walk up, blow, pops bubblegum right in your face, almost getting it on your face. Uh, what's your name? As this young lady starts trying to type out, how can I help you?
I'm a bit of an amnesiac. I work with the local police. I'm here to register a new identity.
Ah, good, good. Let me start working on that. And she takes, I kid you not, a whole 5 minutes to type out on her computer. While she's doing that, Shawnee, you're looking through the your college library. Let me go. There we go. You go over to the library. You're on your college campus, and you're looking around the kind of lore and history and indigenous kind of history. You're looking up folklore history, looking up settler history, looking up everything. You're trying to find like different kind of stuff. You have way too many books out at once. When the librarian, a little bit of an older lady, puts her hand out to you. Shawnee, what are you looking for? I've never seen you pull this many books out at once. What's up?
She looks up from behind the stack of books and smiles at the librarian and says, "Oh, just I've got a deadline for some article I'm trying to submit, and I'm trying to pull together some research last minute.
Well, what's the subject? Maybe I can help point you in the right direction.
Um, Ancient dialects of botanical origins."
She kind of chuckles. Botanical. Was you studying plants lately and trying to talk to them?
Oh, that's such a silly notion. No, I meant oh gosh, what did I mean? Herbaceous, linguistic. I I'm at a bit of a loss. She coughs.
Huh. She just kind of laughs. I don't know what kind of magic you're trying to get into, but if you need anything from about talking to plants or anything like that, you get that little uh, that old worn down kind of like Wiccan or whatever magical stuff down in the basement, like the little like down the stairs. She points to like the area where like the lesser known books tend to be kind of hidden, like more like not really necessarily needed, tends to be a lot more class related book, stuff like that downstairs.
Talk, talking to plants? What a notion! Oh, as if I would do that. What'd you say those books were?
She just laughs. Downstairs, sweetheart.
Okay. Hey, thanks.
Of course. As she's walking away, you can kind of low key hear her muttering like, "Kids and their mushrooms and LSD lately, my lord."
Shawnee's gonna go take a look at those books right away.
You go down immediately, and you do see several books. It is, let me see, several books on like magic. One about uh natural magics of the world. One about specifically volume 2 natural or volume 5 natural magics in the world. The Northwest, that kind of Pacific area, the area you are in. And then there's natural sciences or natural magics of the world. Number 13, occult and voodoo rituals. Number 12, Wiccan and witches rituals. And also just some other, just like different kind of natural kind of history almost. Like, history of occult symbols. Just kind of like stuff you might find on the average kind of, how do I put this, fictional shelf, but like in this it's not fictional, right? It's like supposed to be like real, but they kind of average like, oh yeah, you want to, like in real life you're like, oh yeah, I'll just go to like the bookstore and find like the air quote mystical shelf, right? That kind of stuff.
All right, Shawnee is gonna take as many books as her arms can carry, and find a. Maybe she'll go back to her old table if it is private enough, but I don't know if she wants to be caught reading these books, so she might look for a more secret place, like one of those grad student cages that the grad students kind of lock themselves in for study.
While you're carrying your books over to your grad cage, Chris, she finally stops typing. Oh god. All right, let's see. So you're a cop.
Detective, yes.
Pops the bubblegum again. Wonderful. Let me see your guys' proof of identity and a proof of address if you can, please.
I give my proof of employment from the police station and my proof of address from where I'm currently staying in my shitty little bachelor flat.
Okay, I'll just be a moment, sir. After a moment, like literally not even that long, you don't even think she typed out your name fully. She hands you, she pulls out a clipboard, prints some paper, puts some paper on the clipboard, hands you a pen, and says, basically fill this whole thing out. And it's a thick ass little board. You're gonna be probably spending the rest of the day filling that out. But by the end of that, you will have an amnesiac ID coming in the mail.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'll be right back to you. Maybe in 4 fucking hours, but I'll be right back to you.
Ah, yes, so take your time. Pops the gum again.
As he
Shawnee?
walks back to Mike, he
Yeah.
just mutters, I'm going to shove that bubblegum up her ass.
She doesn't hear anything. She just like goes back to typing. You just hear a bubblegum popping every now and then while you're filling that form out. Michael does his best to kind of help you and like that you know of local stuff, local area codes, etc. that you need to know, zip codes, all that kind of goodness. Shawnee, you read, and you're specifically diving into. Let's see, you roll the 21s. Let's say you opened um, Wiccan rituals first, and you know that Wiccans. Let's see, just by looking through, just like say a brief hour, just kind of read, glancing through, doing your best to kind of read certain areas. Doing your best to understand the best of the book, going through the table of contents, checking out each chapter, trying to see what is the gist of it is about. Um, Maybe not even an hour, like half an hour. You're just checking out the gist of it. Of just studying the book, you understand that Wiccans are very connected to the woods, right? They get a lot of natural power. They're almost kind of like a mix between. They're like a not just even more of a modern day version of them, but it's like a mix of druids and wizards, kind of brought together. And Wiccans tend to be kind of um, more druidic, but with like wizard tendencies, like witches, no, that kind of idea. Like a witch is like, of course, is like I believe a female wizard, but a wizard can be any gender. But they, like, of course, if we're by Harry Potter, a witch, wizard, blah blah blah. That kind of below. There's that little differences. While Wiccan specifically is like a druid and a wizard kind of mixed together, going for both arcane and like studies like stuff like the moon, the blood moon, etc., werewolves, goblins, etc., while also having the druidic sense of studying the nature, magic, watching animals, etc.
Huh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna. So one thing I want Shawnee to do, she's gonna look. You know, in the back of the books, they say like, "Here's who checked this book out," stuff
Yes.
like that. I want to see who's checked out these books.
Um, you would see from this library there are several people. Um, that not a long list. There is roughly 4 people. Um, 3 you don't know. One is your roommate. The last one is your
Ooh,
roommate.
okay. For this Wiccan Rituals book or for some other book?
You go to double check, and you see not just the Wicked Rituals book, but on several of them, the PW natural, magic, natural magic, the first one. In fact, most of the other ones like ritual symbolism and stuff like that, you find her name on them.
Huh. Well, I'll be a witch's uncle. What do you know about that?
I'm guessing you spend the rest of the week now studying this.
Uh-huh, you you bet right.
All right, so that will be your how you pass by the week is intensely studying these books. You learn overall, I would say, which Wiccans very popular in North Pacific Northwest. In fact, the North they're just more popular in general as the greenery tends to be or I guess mid, like kind of mid Earth to like upper Earth, that kind of thing, like equator up. Um, they, for some reason, they just tend to avoid the South Pole, but they very much
Dude,
enjoy. Hmm.
sorry. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Just continue on showing for the time.
Yeah, you're all good. You're all good. And if anything's going on with work that you need to go, just let me know and we can
No, no,
wrap it
not
up.
work. Just something I need to do with my wife quickly.
Oh yeah, all good. All good.
Thanks.
Yep, yep. But yeah, so Shawnee, you learn that they for some reason just like really enjoy the northern end of the world, while in the southern end it seems almost like there's like a different practice of magic. You're not
Huh.
sure what that kind of those books and stuff are missing from the library, but you get a general idea of like the northern magic, and that magic itself kind of you learn a little bit more about the history. In fact, you learn about magic itself in this world is ever changing. Thousands of years ago, there used to be dragons. There used to be uh, orcs and elves constantly. Not even just like these people with like lineages of them, but like full blooded, which I guess makes sense if there's lineages. But like you never really took a moment to think about how long ago that was. That full blooded dwarves would walk around mining, deep within the mountains while elves ran through the woods. That orcs were riding wargs and stuff like that. These wargs nowadays are like they're not even wargs. You just know them as wiggles, little pets that people go and get, like little purse animals, or the other breed, wags, which are just like a slightly smaller version of them. These timid versions of wargs, and of these old creatures. You see a drawing of them for the first time, maybe ever. These giant wolverine creatures that like orcs used to ride, and you're seeing that these like all these magical beings that used to be. This is more like a magic's history book that you learn this from, and like you're learning that wizards and sorcerers and these people called bards used to exist, and you're starting to learn a bit about them. Is there any specific about this old magic you'd like to know? I'll give you one solid question you can ask that I'll try to answer.
One solid question. Oh my gosh. Um, does it still exist today?
Yeah, as
Or
far as your as far as
I
magic,
guess I could have asked an open-ended.
I think that's actually more open ended than you think. Yes, because according to this, magic never dies. You have no proof of it, and it doesn't tell you how it's here nowadays. But by reading it, theoretically, magic should be here. Magic, much like electricity, it isn't really ever made, or is it electricity? Fuck, I believe it's electricity. Uh, or matter or something like that. Fuck, I'm forgetting. Where it's like it's not ever made. It's just
Oh yeah,
misplaced or changed, right?
yeah.
It's
That's
you.
that matter can neither be created nor destroyed.
Yes, exactly. Just changed, altered, or some sort.
Just changed.
Exactly. So it's that same kind of thing where magic in itself can't ever be destroyed. It's permanently. It's just altered or changed in some manner. So maybe magic isn't as strong or as weaker, or maybe it's a different type of magic than you're even used to. Or maybe,
Far out.
yeah, you learn that maybe the magic of folklore and tales are magic of the previous age. Maybe all this new stuff you're seeing is the new magic.
Whoa. Shawnee just has a eureka moment in her chair.
You have that eureka moment, and in the back of your head, you just feel that slight itch as something is getting deeper into your brain.
I scratch.
You scratch. It feels better. As you
Huh.
scratch your head, you feel that relief. You feel a very physical sense, which maybe is a weird dissociative moment where you feel the itch in your head, but you scratch your head and it feels better. It's almost like you're itching the inside of your head somehow.
Yep, I definitely have a tumor. I gotta get that checked out.
Shawnee still not sure that she's not having a panic attack constantly and a mental breakdown in the manic moment. Uh, very much prepared just to blame everything she's seen on a tumor. Chris, are you back, by the way? Good old Deeren. No. Okay. So we'll continue with Shawnee for a moment. I was gonna try let him finish his. We'll go do his after he gets back. Shawnee, we'll I guess
Okay.
continue a little bit more with the week. Um, is there anything else after you spend some time researching? This was kind of what you're able to get this week. Researching, learning. You find that your roommate has studied various different things. Like I said, you learn that Wiccans are very in tune with nature. Um, put together whatever you want to do with that so far. Uh, other than that, is there any like little things you want to do?
Um, well, I'm wondering if there's any sign of like practicing Wiccans today. I'm
That's, I
wondering if I
think,
can do some.
a very
I'm
good
back
question.
here.
Ah, welcome back. Welcome back. So we'll keep that in mind. We'll look for that, Shawnee, and we'll figure that out. But Chris, you finally finish your paperwork.
Oh, god damn, my hand is cramping. I haven't filled out this much paperwork since that murder-suicide a few years ago.
Um, my lord. Um, Michael kind of just gives you a glance like, "Damn, is it really that much extra paperwork?"
I just display the thick wad of paper at him.
No, I meant like the murder suicide, but yeah, I get that.
You would be surprised.
Fair, I guess it is two crimes: murder and suicide. Alright, other than getting your license, though, Chris, is there anything else you want to do with the week? As you get your amnesiac license coming in a few days, by the end of the week, you would probably have it. Maybe not even the end of the week, maybe next week. They do take a fucking minute. Um,
Yeah,
you maybe have like a
he's gonna do
temporary one.
something. Yeah, he's gonna do something that's gonna be just for fun. He's gonna try and get a motorcycle license. He's got a general vehicle license. He's got heavy vehicles, but he's never had a motorcycle license. So he's gonna just walk in and try and take a what do they call it? The learner test, because that's just a written test. And he's like, right, when can I schedule my test for my license?
Well, sir, you have to blows bubblegum in your face. You have to technically, you know, take the motorcycle learning course. It's like a 2 week course of waking up around 11 a.m. to go and ride these motorcycles with people who probably know it more or less than you. Uh, the whole thing is that
I can do that at work. I think our motorcycle drivers are a bit more competent than yours, being as we are trained for rapid response.
all right, well, if you would rather do it at work, you can go do it at work. You get yourself signed up, and as long as they give us the rate of passing for it, then you can take the written test and then the driving test both the same day and get yourself certified for a license.
Fantastic. I will make sure that they send it on to you. And he immediately starts thinking, how can he get the chief pissed off enough to sign without looking?
God, you and that chief are gonna just have the most just definitely the healthiest
I've
of
just got this,
relationships.
yeah, I've just got this thought in the back of my mind where this is my wife's estranged father that she hasn't spoken with in years.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, so I just get that I get the feel and the vibe off of him, but I don't know why, so that's why I'm giving him shit.
I suppose so. I can work with that. So, You spend the rest of the week basically trying to subtly find ways to and plan to get your motorcycle license. You work out with Michael. You guys are working through your in coping up until the therapy session. You guys all wake up the day of therapy. It's the day to finally go back and see everybody again. And remember that it all did happen again. Not just seeing each other like, Lizzie and Michael, but like Shawnee, Chris, Michael, and Lizzie will all see each other again, along with everybody else. And you guys now have new trauma to work through at therapy.
Oh, I've got amnesia. You've got trauma. For me, I didn't know about it. Now I do. I guess there is an advantage to having amnesia. Your
True.
psyche can't break if you don't remember what a psyche is.
I mean, that is, I guess, you what fucking. I suppose that works. That is good enough of
Or
like.
lower level things in any case. I mean, if you see Cthulhu, you're still fucked.
You know, I read somewhere in a book that dissociative amnesia is actually a symptom of trauma.
Yeah, you know what? That is also true.
You know what? That is entirely possible because I remember waking up entirely bandaged from head to toe in a hospital.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
imagine you guys
checks out.
all just outside the building talking about this. Like, you guys all just instead of having that awkward moment of, oh, yep, it all happened, you all just start fucking like talking and like Michael's like, I think you're definitely very traumatized, Chris, considering how angry you are.
I'm not angry. I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, me and Michael, we've had a good week. We've
Am
done
I?
some training. Uh, he pulls out his ID card. Oh, it's not the, his, he pulls out his receipt. I got a new ID. I'm just waiting for it. Uh, it's been a pretty good week, honestly.
Lizzie,
With
who
the
now
exception of the
refuses
fucking people.
to let go of Jackson for too long, is holding him at therapy. Uh, Jackson wags his tail and just kind of barks to Chris, knowing Chris is excited to see him. Uh,
Jackson, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
rough. Rough.
Starts rubbing his belly.
Rough. Wines. Like the happy wine. Uh, yeah, Lizzie's like, alright, well, um, are you guys ready to head back in?
Yeah,
Alright, let's.
I mean, yeah, last week we ended up going to Lizzie and doing her little excursion. What do you say today we go and do Mike? After our session, of course.
Oh, well. And Mike's like, oh, shit. I was hoping maybe fix Lizzie's thing first. You can tell he's immediately trying to change the subject immediately. Because, like, I mean,
Um,
she's
he,
still couch
we
surfing with you
point
guys.
at the yeah, I point at the woods. I mean, technically, Lizzie's thing is sort of sorted for the time being, at least.
Lizzie's like, well, I can't live in my house right now, so I.
But you've
Yes
got
and
other
no.
living accommodations, so it's done, but it's only halfway done. We're still working on the finish.
Lizzie leans into you, Shawnee. Such a fucking cop move. We're working on the case.
I know, right? And you'll probably be sitting on that case for the next few months.
Michael sees them leaning
Chris,
in,
hear it?
leans into you, Chris, and goes, what do you think they're talking about?
Chris just looks at them and, well, he looks over at Michael. Well, I was trained in lip reading since I'm a detective, and they're speaking about me sitting on this case for the next few months.
And he's like, oh, do you think you will?
I look right at Sean. Maybe I will.
She just goes, humph, and she takes Lizzie by the hand, and they go into the building.
Immediately while they start walking in, he starts, you know what, Michael? I think yours is still a bit traumatizing for you. I think next we're going to go and start looking for Sean's roommate.
All right. Michael just kind of nods his head. I like that idea. You're right. Fuck Lizzie. We'll
Turns
just
it
go
away
do
from
Shawnee
him.
instead. As you guys walk in, I'll leave this to you guys. Do you guys want to try to do the therapy next week? Because it does sound a little bit like you guys have a general idea that you might be going to do stuff next week. Actually, you know what? Let's do it, because if you guys have a general idea what you're gonna do, we'll use therapy to figure out what you guys want to do, and I'll get it prepared for next week. What like actual a journey and quest you guys want to do.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that in it.
There we go. That's where we'll end it. Is after this little therapy session.
Yeah, that's fair.
There we go. Let me go get copyright free. Hold on. Relaxing therapy music.
Immediately starts blasting Taylor Swift.
You were my touchdown. No, it's just my angle.
And then it's just a goat meme repeatedly.
Lord. So, you guys are in therapy. You guys, you guys walk in, and Pinewoods is like, "Oh, hello there! Ah, I'm so glad to see you all back." Almost like shocked that you guys actually came back. You know what?
Well, yeah, why wouldn't we come back?
Well, you could tell that David Goliath, that email fucker, isn't here. Jeff Lovitz is, though, and so is Helen. He's missing, and you can also tell that Pinewoods just looks a little nervous. I'm not even gonna you don't even have to do a sense motive. He just looks. I mean, if you want to do sense motive for like more details, go ahead. But he just looks nervous.
I don't know what my bonus is. Give me a second, but that's a natural 20.
Natural 20. Yeah, no, you can tell he has so much anxiety. Like, maybe right before this, he was told, like, listen, you have to keep this many group members in order to keep the thing going, kind of thing, right? And if it was just Helen and Jeff, he may not have had enough, but having 4 other people still come back, it's enough, right? So that kind of vibe. Like, he's giving off that, like, a teacher or a principal who's about to lose his shit kind of, like, vibe. If that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. I look at him like, I'm pretty sure I can get a couple of people from my department to. I mean, we see quite gruesome scenes regularly. Maybe you can.
Oh well, are they paranormal or anything supernatural sense? Because that's.
I mean, have you seen some of them? I mean, you've seen some of the more tame murder scenes on TV. You think anything paranormal could be in those? Immediately, he just thinks of something like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's like, what do you think?
Pinewoods just kind of, Mr. Candles nods his head, and at first you think he has like maybe something to say, but then he decides to instead close his mouth, leans over, grabs a flyer with some numbers on it, and says, "Have them call me, or come in, and they're more than welcome to join. The group is open to anybody and everybody, and if they think it's paranormal, then they're more than welcome to process it here."
I will definitely do that. It might get more people in your door, and it might get more people out of my office.
Smiles. He smiles happily, friendly. "I'm glad to hear that." Jeff speaks up. "I don't mean to be that guy, but would we mind starting the therapy? I just have things I got to do after the fact, Not to be rude."
Oh, you need to go and report to your cult leader? He gives him the stink eye.
"What? No, I work at a fucking bar, man. I just got No, like a shift after work of this.
Oh, would you
In that
stop
case,
being such a mean-faced meanie and let the guy get some therapy?
I mean, somebody has to counteract your overly niceness.
Helen leans over.
Huh.
Well, you don't always have to counteract anything, though. We could just, work on ourselves, and like want to work on ourselves.
And he looks at Helen, but you're working on yourselves. If you want us to work on ourselves, then why are we coming here to see you and each other?
We're not seeing me. You're seeing
Because we're
him.
not good enough on
Pinewoods.
our own.
Pinewood speaks. So yeah, I believe I'm the therapy guy, but uh, I mean, are you
I'm
here for
speaking to
Helen?
Helen.
Yeah, Helen's like, are you here for me?
I mean, it sort of looked like we were here for you, and he's been very gracious and welcoming, but it seemed like you got him by the short and curlies.
Helen and Pine kind of just look at each other, and Pine, not even remotely knowing what you're talking about, just says, she's not even associated with the the hospital or anything. I'm very confused what you're getting at.
You know what? Fine, it's fine. Let's continue on with therapy. Uh, who do you think is kicking us off today? Anyone?
Jeff, speaking. Finally, I can fucking. I have been having nightmares. He stands up. Very bad nightmares. I keep seeing the Sea King. This massive furry beast. This beast crawling through my windows, at the toilet, out the toilet, breaking down my door, coming for me. I'm very scared. And I can't get the nightmares to stop. I don't want to have to go back and start drinking again to try and, heavily to try and, help me sleep better, but it's getting harder to sleep. I don't want to have to see the nightmares. And everyone around me keeps saying, I need to just go back to the port. Maybe I can go work again, and maybe just getting by the water, I'll see everything's safe and okay, but I know it's not safe. I know if I go there, he's gonna eat me. He's waiting for me to go near the water again. Just wait. And so, I just need to get it off my chest. And if anyone has anything knowledge about dreams or anything to like about that, Pinewoods immediately actually sprays up and puts his hand on Jeff's shoulder. He's like, well, Jeff, nightmares are really just a subconscious. Freud talked a lot about the subconscious. In his case, he really just wanted to have sex with his mother, but I think in your case, you do have a genuine fear of the water. I think it's probably closer to PTSD even at this point. I don't want to diagnose you with PTSD. That's not my area, but I can very much say that it's very similar. I think where you have an anxiety or anxious feeling regarding these certain area, and of course, I mean, it makes sense. I think we all have anxiety regarding a situation, but no, I think that makes sense. I don't think it's irrational. I don't think it's anything like that. I think it's something that maybe if you wanted us as a group to even join you and go by the water at some point, even during the daytime where it's nice and safe, we can all see the water and we don't have to go in it. We can just look at the water and be near it for a bit. And Jeff is like, I don't think staring at the fucking water is gonna help. Pine, no fucking offense. I just, maybe, I don't know. Fuck. He sits down, just kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, what was that, Johnny?
What? I'm just thinking, what if what he's dreaming is true? What if it turns out to be real, and if he goes near the water, he's gonna die?
He looks at you very worryingly, like, you think that could happen? Pinewood's trying to be like, no, remember, everyone, these supernatural occurrences, they're not real. Remember, that's the whole point. We're here to try and rationalize them, make them real in a sense that they're realistic. Magic doesn't happen in the world as far as we know. So,
Fucking excuse me?
well, there's of course the magic of love, but Well,
No, 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 no. Look, I don't agree with Shawnee on a lot of things. We
Thank
get
you.
along decently, but and he starts taking off his shirt, and he's like, "What the fuck do you think did this to me?"
a mugger?
That took on myself, Michael, Shawnee, Lizzie
Well,
in the
I.
woods, dressed as a tree. With what exactly would they cut us? There wasn't any knives. There wasn't it literally got infected.
So here's y'all can have your guys like Shawnee. You can have Shawnee react however you want. Michael gives you the look of like, oh, shit, kind of just dropped that out of nowhere. Like I don't know how else to describe it. He's not off a camera, other than just saying like he gives you that look of like his eyes open up a little bit, his mouth kind of drops like, oh shit, we're just going right into that. Helen leans over, very intrigued, as Shawnee did not mention she was with other people during that kind of evening. She just kind of mentioned that she went into the woods with a group. Well, mentioned the group of people, but not who those people were, right? And so I now see that one of them is at least Chris. And she said that she was hanging out with Chris. She didn't realize that, like, she didn't really put two and two that Chris was one of those people. So she's kind of like putting two and two together now, and like looking at Shawnee leading into Chris. Lizzie squeezes Jackson tight now, not wanting to think about that situation again. Um, Pinewoods flabbergasted, absolutely just kind of put back. He thought he was being reassuring, and he does not know how to essentially not rationalize what you said, because of course inherently I think it's probably pretty obvious he doesn't believe that a tree attacked you, right? He wasn't there, he doesn't see anything, so he doesn't believe a tree. He probably is concerned for you, so he has that kind of flabbergasted concerned look. And then Jeff just is there. Jeff, seeing his own shit, is kind of just nodding his head towards you.
I mean, if you don't even believe what I'm fucking showing you, we can always take Lizzie to the edge of the woods and you can see them for yourself.
Well, if you like, we can all have a group trip sometime this next week. That would sounds like a lot of fun. But you must
Chris
understand.
just gives out a snort of disbelief. He looks at Sean like, "Can you believe this fucking guy? Fun."
Michael puts his hand on your shoulder. You must remember, he wasn't there. I know you're frustrated, but he
Oh,
wasn't
this
there.
isn't even frustration. He's literally saying that the four of us. Who else was there? It's not just the four of us. Was it the four of us?
Just the four of you.
It's just
Yes.
all of us that were there. We were mugged, and we don't know what we saw. But this is supposed to be a paranormal therapy group.
Well, that's he. Michael says, "Well, I don't think he was saying that you don't know what you saw. He just is saying that like he actively just saying like he doesn't know what was there. Like he you know. In fact, I don't even think he mentioned anything about that. But Pinewood speaks. So I was like, I listen, Chris. I'm not meaning to offend. I'm just saying that this is supposed to help the group is meant to rationalize this. This is things that happen that were hard to explain, and trying to find a way to explain it. We don't have to jump to conclusions, but if you happen to have something occur, then I would like to hear it. I'm just saying, like, I can only
Then
rationalize.
don't instantly go to disbelieving us. I understand rationalizing things, but all of us that were there, I mean, he points at his body and it's littered with scars that have scabbed over his stomach that was cut clean. And I was like, I nearly died last week saving Lizzie, saving Shawnee. And to be told that, yeah, you got mugged. We got mugged and had nothing stolen. That sounds more like a murder attempt than to me. I mean, at least rationalize it correctly.
He, Michael, you hear gives a sigh at that comment, where he's just kind of like, Jesus, Chris. Uh, and even Jeff, you see, rolls his eyes at you very audibly. Pinewood's trying to be more understanding. He's like, first off, if there's a group of you that was mugged, it was you. People die via muggings all the time, Chris. You as an officer should know this, but that's besides the point. You have amnesia. We don't have to compare things like that. At the end of the day, I was trying to. I was coming up with an example, not at all dismissing you, and also that's the whole point of this thing, is to dismiss supernatural capabilities and rationalize it. And that's the whole point, is to find a rationalization of what could possibly have actually happened, not to be
Hey,
hysteric.
Mr. Candles. Hey, Mr. Candles.
Yes,
Shawnee tries to
Shawnee.
interrupt him. How's your wife doing?
I am unsure. As I
You
still
don't
know.
happen to remember what you said last week?
I know exactly what I said. Is that something happened, something weird, but we don't have to jump straight to magic. I know something strange happened, but there's still rationalizations that we can try to find.
Lizzie, remember what you did last week?
Cry?
Except for the crying. I mean, when Shawnee got injured. You want to burn something again?
What do you mean? She looks very perplexed. Like, she does it.
Chris looks to Shawnee. He's like, does she not remember?
It's
Hey, I think you need to leave Lizzie alone.
Lizzie gives you that look of, not that she
He
doesn't
looks
remember,
taken
she
aback
doesn't
from this.
know how to
I
do it.
apologize.
Helen speaks up. Well, everybody, hold on. Take a second. Look, everyone's having a moment. Chris, we hear you. We do. I know Pine's doing his best, but we all have our own beliefs as well, you know. I know Jeff is on his own sense of whether or not he even believes what happened to him or not. Everyone has their own senses. I mean, the other gentleman left outright. Pretty sure he didn't believe anything that we had to say last week. You must be willing to, hear people out and talk about this, not just, be frustrated with it. It's, there's a sense of proof to life that some people need, and some people haven't experienced enough proof. Candles just needs more proof for his eyes to be able to understand certain things. Not that yours is invalid by any means. I hope you know that. You're not here to be invalidated.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah, no worries. It's just that was more than just a little bit too much for me.
Candles says, speaks up. I apologize. I did not mean it to come off that way.
It's fine. I didn't mean to come across as attacking. It's just I regularly run into gunfire, knife fights to arrest people. I think I would know if it was a mugger.
He nods his head. Very fair. Helen speaks up, now taking a bit more of the kind of control of the situation. I recently have had a wonderful, wonderful coffee date with a friend of mine, to which we discussed very magical capabilities of this world. And I think this world has many different pockets of it that we are yet to figure out or understand. And I think it's good to try and understand them in the best way that we can. I know Michael, Chris, Shawnee, and Lizzie, you guys have a wonderful, well, it sounds like a wonderful, terrifyingly, terrifyingly interesting, I guess is the best way to put it, situation and experience. Would you guys like to expand upon that further? If not, maybe take time this week to think about what would you like to do next with it, and maybe I'm sure we all be happy to hear about what you'd like to say about it, if you're not ready to talk about it yet, beyond what you have.
I mean, we probably all went into the woods and did some shrooms, you know what I'm saying?
She just chuckles, gives you a look of, oh you, I think is the best way to say, oh you, Shawnee. And with a very kind of solemn smile, she goes, well, Jeff, she's like sits over and walks by Jeff. Jeff, I'd like to hear about your story, and everyone, Pines, I think if it's cool with you, could we break into our groups and just do our little discussions now? Pine's like, oh yes, of course. I mean, it's already been most of the time of the session today. We I think got into it. We can absolutely just go and maybe talk about our personal stuff. It's like, yeah, I just wanted to hear more about what Jeff is going through. I'm just curious. If anyone else would like to hear, but I know you all have your own things. Pine Woods goes, actually, I would like to maybe hear more about what happened in the woods. As he goes and steps, kind of pulls his chair over between the four of you guys right here. As Lizzie kind of skirts herself closer on the edge of the couch, closer to you, Shawnee. He sits down, putting his chair backwards, so he sits, with his kind of leaning on the back. So give me the lowdown, you four. What's up? What happened? If you're willing to talk about it, what is going on? How can I help you?
I mean, if you've got any spirits that would help, it's time to change my my ribs bandages. If you could maybe give me some spirits in maybe 5 minutes.
He's like, well, we have first aid on site. If you'd like me to take you to that. He actually gets up and starts like getting ready to lead you, Chris, to like a first aid. He's like, if you, I did notice. I was gonna ask. I didn't want to say in front of everyone, but do you want to just like make sure you're okay?
It's fine. It's just it's time to change them. They're pretty soaked.
Yeah, you Chris, you and like Pinewood take a second. He goes and shows you the medical. Like, he offers help. You don't have to accept it, but he just makes sure, like, he's there to lock it up once you're done with what you got to do. As part of his job, he does have to do that. But so he can't leave you alone with it, but he does let you do what you need to do. Gives you your privacy, like looks the other way, but he does not like leave the area. He does let you kind of handle it and offer help. You guys will just kind of put over here as you're kind of like doing medical stuff. Michael goes over to Shawnee and Lizzie. Hi, hey, quick, can I talk to you two?
Yeah, what's up?
Hi. First off, how are you two been? I've been hanging out with Chris last week. He's what an interesting character. First off, but how are you two?
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. I'm doing okay. Doing okay, Lizzie. You good?
Oh, constantly on the edge of a breakdown, but not apparently. I just love that Chris had to bring it up. She starts like really quickly, like fucking with her fingers. I don't know what's going on with my words lately.
Yeah, about that. I've done some research. I was meaning to share this with you. I think magic is real.
Micah goes, no shit it is. Not everyone's gonna believe it. Like, no, clearly. But I think that most certainly magic is certainly fucking real.
Yeah, and I think you're a magician.
I'm a magician?
Yeah, or something like that. You got innate magic power.
What kind of magician? Like what like are there different kinds? Am I like a specific kind? Like I spoke words and things happened.
Well, it's interesting that you should ask that question because, yeah, there are different kinds, and I was doing some research and I figured out that there are different kinds of magic, north versus south, thousands and thousands of years ago versus today, all different kinds of magic. So, there are different kinds.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Michael's like, I've never had any magical capabilities myself. I've always just been very stout and hardy and more of the physical thing, but my lineage is very magical, a dwarven of kind. I do come from dwarves way back in the day, so they have some magic. How about you, Lizzie? Do you have any magical history? Well, I mean, I am. You can tell she moves her hair a little bit. You mean I'm pretty sure it's obvious I have some tiefling lineage. My parents a long time ago, or my great great grandparents a long time ago were tieflings. You know, demonic lineage. They used to talk. My mom used to tell me stories of a long time ago of people like wizards and sorcerers and something with a D. They're like magic people. I don't like with the woods. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
druids. They're
Dru-
druids.
exactly druids. Yes, they of like people that like maybe mines used to be a long time ago. Of course I didn't really believe it, but do you think maybe I'm a druid?
You know, you just might be. You just might be. Either you're a druid, and that would explain the obsession with those trees, you know? Or you're some kind of sorcerer. Maybe it's in your blood.
Do you think there's any magic that happens to do with words or voices?
You know, I was reading about this just the other day. There was a kind of magician called a bard.
A bard, a magician. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into this. Please bring the book home next time. We'll read it together, maybe.
Yeah, sure. I'll check it out of the library.
Good. Micah's like, hi. How about you, Shawnee? You got anything going on with you, eh?
Oh, just doing some research. That's all. That's what
Yeah,
I
but
do best.
magically, though. Like, do you got any lineage or anything that we might need to be, I don't know, prepared for with this bullshit that's been occurring?
Me? Magic? Unless you call a cup of coffee magic, kid?
Well, I mean, a good cup of coffee can always be magical, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I've been working on getting it just right, but I still don't think I'm quite there.
You know, I think he looks around for a second, looks at everyone else. Here's Chris and Pinewoods coming back, and he's like, "Listen, look, Chris really wants to try to look into my stuff. I'm gonna be honest, I'm just not ready for it. I'm not comfortable with it. Can we just, Lizzie? Would you mind trying to convince Chris to like go to yours? Then we can get you back to your home, and I just feel like it'd be more comfortable for you." And Chris, you start to walk in. He's like, "Anyways, hi, how's it going, Chris? Shall we discuss what we're gonna?" Because Pinewoods goes and like, oh, there we go, Chris. I hope you're feeling all right and better. You know, he goes, sits down, basically, it's kind of like dismisses your guys' situation. Gets distracted by Jeff over here as he like overhears something. I hope you're feeling okay, better though, Chris. I hope everything's all right.
Yeah, it's all good. He gives a little laugh and like, no more leakage.
That's good. That's good. And then he gets distracted by Jeff and Helen, who are having a very deep conversation right now. Michael goes, "Anyways, I believe we were just maybe about to discuss what we're gonna do this next little adventure of ours." Lizzie speaks up. I know we talked about maybe looking to Shawnee's roommate. Would we be able to maybe look at my situation so that maybe I could move into my house soon?
What, you don't like my cooking?
I thought we would give you a break a bit, but you seemed quite out of it last week, Lizzie.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not your cooking, Shawnee. I don't know. I just feel bad. I guess I feel like a burden. Just don't want to. I don't know. I don't feel the same not being at my home, you know? But.
You know what, Lizzie? You could never be a burden. But I'm feeling your pain. I'm getting that you want to go home. And let's make that happen. Come on, Chris.
Or, I mean, of course, we could do Shawnee's first and then mine. We have time this week. We could do
No,
both.
it's fine. I don't mind. We can do yours, Lizzie, if you feel you're up for it. Last week was traumatizing for most of us. I thought you might enjoy just getting your mind off of it for a bit.
Can't stop thinking about it, if I'm being honest. I really just want them gone.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's not immediately get into it. And it takes out his knife certification. I got this. Uh, I'm certified to carry a knife again. I should get my ID by start of the week, and hopefully, by the end of the week, I should be recertified carrying a weapon, and it will be a lot safer for us.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, I should. I should get a weapon, shouldn't I? I'm tough. I can use one.
Michael's like, that golf club I had, don't want to break them, so I probably would go grab something else this week. Why don't we do this? Let's wait a day or two, get ourselves prepared. We'll go and meet at Lizzie's one more time, maybe 2 days, huh? Then we'll go ahead and after that go and investigate more Shawnees. How's that sound?
That sounds good to me.
That'll be
Works
towards
for
the end of the
me.
week. Should give you time to at least start your gun set. Then Shawnee give me and you time to find weapons. Lizzie, time to get yourself prepared. Make ourselves stronger. And with that, Pinewood stands up. I think that's about time as the ding goes off behind him. Ah, perfect timing. Ding, doo, 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 doo.
My
Hey,
grandfather had a clock like that.
I feel like most grandfather clocks tend to be like this. It's a very pleasant sound, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, thank you everybody for joining us. I'm sorry we didn't really get into much this week. I started talking a bit more than I anticipated about certain subjects, and I'd rather us bring up topics apparent to us and current to us than just play some games or try and work through stuff casually. So I actually very much appreciate you all talking, and I appreciate you all having a conversation this week. We'll be meeting next week again, next Sunday. But I know before we start the week, around the same time, 10 a.m. Feel free to come on by, and I'll speak to you guys later. I gotta get stuff cleaned up, and feel free to take your time. But I just gotta start getting stuff cleaned up, and he starts getting everything set up, and that's we'll end our session next week. Feel free to get you guys to level 2. I'll make sure Lizzie and Michael are level 2. I'll make sure to get their D&D sheets all set up and finished with their own equipment. You feel free to go ahead and get yourself equipment and what you want ready. Next week we'll do wealth checks for anything that needs wealth checks, and we'll just kind of essentially do a quick recap, almost like a montage of getting yourselves kind of prepared. But to give yourselves time so you're not panicked, look at what you want to get yourselves prepared, and then we'll do the rolls and all that next week.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. And other than that, thank you very much, guys, for coming around. That is our session this week for paranormal investigations / paranormal therapy. Oh, hope you guys had a good session.
Yeah, that was
I did.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, as always.
Hell yeah! I was trying to treat that like kind of like a 1.5 session, kind of like getting the intermediary stuff. I hope you guys like the interpersonal stuff, the kind of therapy coping vibes I try to put into it. But I know Darren, you probably gotta get ready for bed soon and all that, so I won't keep you guys too long. Thank you very much for hanging out with us, guys, and thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys, if not next week, because I know Darren, you guys, you have some work stuff maybe going on eventually, but we'll try our best to come back when we can. Bye bye,
Yeah.
everybody.
Cheers.
Okay, bye. Thank you.